In 647 CE, the death of King Harshavardhana erased northern India's power structure. Without him, the region fractured into leaderless fragments. The resulting period in Bengal became known as Matsya Nyaya, the law of the fishes. In the absence of a central authority, strong warlords and local factions consumed the weak, creating a reality of total anarchy. To survive this environment, the regional leaders and citizens made a highly unusual decision in 750 CE. They held an election, elevating a common soldier named Gopala to the throne. By actively choosing a ruler rather than submitting to another warlord, they replaced a fractured system with a unified command. This election established the bedrock of the Pala dynasty. 2 decades later, in 770 CE, Gopala's son Dharmapala inherited a stabilized Bengal and immediately looked outward, launching campaigns to push the empire's borders across the continent. His primary target was Kannauj. Positioned in the upper Gangetic Valley, controlling this specific city meant controlling the region's vast agricultural wealth and holding the symbolic sovereignty of North India. Their push toward Kannauj triggered the tripartite struggle, a war pulling in the Pratihara Empire and the Rashtrakutas. Borders fluctuated. Dharmapala absorbed defeats by Rashtrakuta cavalry and spent years fighting resurgent Pratihara forces to a bloody standstill. Dharmapala managed to stretch Pala territory further than his father, but the borders remained volatile. The dynasty required a commander who could break the stalemate and neutralize these external threats. That commander took the throne in 810 CE. Devapala initiated his reign by directing his military straight at the Pratihara Empire, securing a victory that ended their influence in the region and re-established Pala control. With the western flank secure, he marched his forces north. Chinese historical records indicate Devapala's armies successfully pushed the ruling Tibetans out of the Himalayan region. Rather than overextending his own administration to govern these distant areas, he forced the defeated hill tribes into vassal alliances. They retained local control in exchange for steady tribute and border security. By driving out foreign occupiers and subjugating regional rivals, Devapala pushed the empire to its absolute physical limits. This massive buffer zone allowed the empire's focus to shift from military expansion to internal development. To manage this territory, Devapala operated as a benevolent despot. He held absolute authority but governed under the mandate of protecting Dharma and maintaining civil justice. He established a highly organized feudal monarchist system. Hereditary officials and vassals collected taxes at the provincial level, while local decisions were left to existing village assemblies and merchant guilds. This stability triggered an agricultural boom. The fertile plains of the Ganges and Brahmaputra rivers, supported by extensive irrigation, yielded large surpluses of rice. The surplus drove commercial expansion. Cities like Pataliputra and Tamralipti developed into trade hubs, using deep rivers to transport goods to Tibet and Southeast Asia. The taxes and tributes from this interconnected economy flowed directly into the royal treasury. Devapala possessed the wealth and security necessary to shift his focus toward large-scale cultural projects. As a deeply committed practitioner of Mahayana Buddhism, Devapala actively began redirecting the vast empire's economic surplus directly into monastic education. He issued large land grants to maintain Vikramashila University, providing the financial backing necessary for it to operate as a primary center of philosophy. He also funneled endowments into the existing Nalanda Mahavihara, expanding its capacity until it drew scholars and monks from Tibet, Nepal, and across the Asian continent. By funding these institutions, Devapala served his own religious devotion while making his capital the intellectual center of gravity for the Eastern world. This is the Nalanda copper plate, carved in 860 CE. It serves as direct physical evidence of Devapala's diplomatic reach. The inscription records a formal petition from Bala Putra Deva, the king of Srivijaya, requesting Devapala's permission to construct a dedicated monastery at Nalanda for foreign monks. Devapala granted the land and resources. This decision created a physical pipeline of philosophical and architectural exchange, stretching from eastern India directly into Indonesia. When these international scholars completed their studies, they carried their knowledge home, propagating the praises of Devapala's patronage throughout their local kingdoms. This diplomacy consolidated Devapala's reputation as a protector of the faith, centering the Pala court within a network of Asian Buddhist states. Following Devapala's death around 850 CE, the military strength of the empire waned. Internal rebellions fractured the administration, and rival dynasties eventually pushed back through the borders. Yet the physical collapse of the state did not erase what Devapala had built. The monasteries he funded continued to operate and project influence long after his armies retreated. The distinct Pala artistic idiom, visible in intricate stone carvings and complex iconography, became the standard, shaping Buddhist art across Nepal, Tibet, and Southeast Asia for hundreds of years. The survival of Pala philosophy and art suggests that Devapala's most enduring impact came from his investment in education rather than his territorial gains. To explore more deep dives into the empires that built our modern world, make sure to like this video, share it with a fellow history enthusiast, and subscribe to AKHARA Study.